You know, when they say that anything can happen in MMA, it's not an exaggeration. It's not something said to make the sport sound more exciting. It's said because that is the truth. If anyone told you that Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, a man who has never been stopped in his MMA career, a man who was able to take Tyron Woodley's best shot, a man who was able to take Darren Till's best shot, a man who is widely considered to be the best striker in MMA, would get knocked out cold by a 155-pound fighter making his welterweight debut, a man who hasn't had a finish due to strikes since 2013, you would laugh your ass off. But that is exactly what just happened. Anthony Showtime Pettis just knocked Stephen Thompson out cold. Like, I'm saying it to you guys, I can hear myself say it. I know I just watched it, but I still can't believe what just happened. So the fight starts off, and the very first thing that I noticed was that Anthony Pettis was fighting in a Muay Thai style. He was flat-footed, plodding forward, kept a very high guard, had a slight bounce on his lead leg, and he was focusing very heavily on the leg kick. It was clear from the get-go that Pettis was there to deliver power. He wasn't trying to stick and move or point fight with Stephen Thompson. He was there to do damage. Now, as surprised as I was with this style of fighting coming from Pettis, I was happy to see it because that showed me that he was well trained for this fight and he did his homework. Because if there's any style out there that rivals karate very well, it is Muay Thai, and for a few reasons. One, the leg kick, of course, is a huge weapon against a karate fighter because of their wide stance and their need to use a lot of movement. So targeting their legs is a lot easier than targeting the legs of, say, another Muay Thai kickboxer who is lighter on that lead leg. Also, damaging the lead leg of a karate fighter also means that his movement is hindered, and when his movement is hindered, he is a lot easier to find and hit. It also creates a good contrast between speed and power. The karate fighter tends to be the fighter that is faster, but the Muay Thai fighter, because of how grounded he is and because of how certain techniques are delivered, almost always is the more powerful fighter. Now, of course, when you fight a Muay Thai style against a karate fighter trying to get on the inside, especially one with a height and reach advantage on you, you will take damage on your way in. It's inevitable. And that's exactly what started to happen right away against Anthony Pettis. Stephen Thompson was able to establish a jab, and with that, he was able to bust up Anthony Pettis really, really early. Now, watching this fight, the one thing that really surprised me though about Stephen Thompson was the fact that he was boxing from southpaw. And I say it's surprising because this is not usually how Wonderboy does it. He will switch his stance, but usually when he switches to southpaw, just like John Jones, it's purely for his kicks, to be offensive with his kicks. So you see a lot of side kicks, roundhouse kicks, etc. And when he is in the regular, conventional, orthodox stance, you'll see more boxing from him. But most importantly, his defense is a lot better from orthodox than it is from southpaw, specifically when it comes to his head movement. So I was really surprised to see him spending most of the fight in southpaw and boxing from southpaw. A few times in round 1 and early in round number 2, Anthony Pettis was able to come really, really close with his right cross. And the whole time I was sitting there just wondering why on earth is Steven spending so much time in southpaw and actually boxing from southpaw, knowing that his defense is just not as good from there. Now, it's possible he just didn't feel that threatened when it comes to Anthony Pettis and his boxing, and he might have felt that he could deal with whatever combinations Pettis threw easily. It was also clear that he was mostly focusing on his left cross as his main weapon from southpaw, and for the majority of the fight, he was definitely busting up Pettis with that left cross and jab. But then close to the end of round 2, out of nowhere, Anthony Pettis throws a Superman right hook, which connects clean on Wonderboy as he attempted to lunge away from it while in southpaw, and that was it. He was out before he hit the ground. My goodness, what a shocking but incredible outcome to a fight one would think was a done deal if you watched the first and the second round. I mean, let's be real here. It was looking pretty bad for Anthony Pettis. He couldn't really find his range. He was getting tagged. He was getting busted up. And there was really no real indication that he would find his way back into the fight again. But like a power puncher who only needs one shot, he lands one clean shot. And with that, he did something Tyron freaking Woodley could not do after facing Wonderboy twice. And both times actually landing his best punch on Wonderboy. This is why MMA is incredible. At no point can we truly ever feel like a win is inevitable, because as long as we are dealing with two adult human beings well trained to do to the human body what it wasn't designed to endure, one zig when you should have zagged and the fighter who was winning could be out cold just like that. And that's what happened tonight. This also makes me wonder if every fighter should just stop cutting weight. Like most times, especially recently, most times we see fighters move up in weight. We see them performing much better than they did while cutting weight. They have more energy. They have more power. It's almost like they're more mentally there. They're just overall a better fighter when they're fighting at their natural weight. A good example of that being Donald Cerrone. So should all these guys just stop cutting weight and fight at their natural weight? Like a lot of people have suggested that this might be a good idea. And the more we see evidence of fighters moving up in weight and doing extraordinary things they were not able to do at their normal weight class, the more it seems like it might be valid. I'm so curious to see what not cutting weight could do for someone like, say, Jose Aldo. And now I'm also curious about freaking Luke Rockhold and his move to light heavyweight. Are we going to see a world beater Luke Rockhold in light heavyweight now? But that's a topic for another day. As for today, Anthony Pettis is the star of the show. And as big of a Wonder Boy fan as I am, as big as of a fan I am of Stephen Thompson, and as disappointed and sad as I am to see the man get knocked out and see him lose like that, you can't help but be happy for Anthony Pettis. He has been through a lot, and also he has consistently fought the absolute best guys in any weight class he competes in. Yeah, he might have a lot of losses on his record, but he is consistently fighting the absolute best guys in all the weight class he has been in, and you gotta respect that. So a big congratulations to Anthony Pettis. And as for you guys, let me know what your thought about the fight is in the comment section below. I am really looking forward to reading that, and I will see you guys tomorrow.